Have you ever really stopped to think about how the food you eat affects, well, everything? Your thoughts, your mood, even your memory? Today, we're going to dive deep into that fascinating link between what's on your plate and what's going on in your head.
We've all been there, right? That classic post-lunch slump where you just can't focus. Or maybe that weird burst of energy you get late at night. Well, it turns out that's not random at all. It's your brain sending you a direct signal about the food you just gave it.
And it's not just a short-term thing. Every single bite you take has this profound, long-lasting impact on your brain. We're not just talking about a quick energy boost. We're talking about the structure, the communication, and the protection of the very organ that makes you, well, you.
So to really get how to fuel the brain properly, we first need to know what it's even made of. I mean, if we could break it down into its basic nutritional parts, what would we actually find? Okay, so if you were to take all the water out of your brain, what's left is pretty surprising. The vast majority of it, we're talking the lion's share, is fat. Yep, lipids. The rest is a mix of proteins, amino acids, and tiny traces of micronutrients and glucose. This makeup right here is basically our roadmap. So let's start with the biggest piece of that pie, fats.
That's right. Let's get one thing straight. Fat is not the bad guy when it comes to your brain. In fact, fats are the literal building blocks. They create and maintain the actual structure of your brain cells, forming the foundation for literally everything your brain does.
But hold on, not all fats are created equal. Your brain is crying out for the good fats, specifically omega-3 and omega-6. Now, our bodies can't make these on their own, which is why they're called essential. We have to get them from our diet. They're absolutely crucial for building healthy cell membranes, which are like the gatekeepers for our neurons, deciding what gets in and out. On the flip side, a diet loaded with other fats, like trans fats, can really mess with that whole system.
So, where can you find these amazing brain builders? It's actually pretty simple. Think fatty fish like salmon or nuts and seeds. Making these a regular part of your diet is like making a direct investment in your brain's architecture. But, structure is just one part of the story. Now, let's talk about how the brain actually communicates.
All right, next up, proteins and their building blocks, amino acids. See, if fats are the brain's physical structure, the bricks and mortar, then proteins are the messengers. They're the ones in charge of communication, which basically determines how we feel and what we can focus on.
Proteins do their magic by providing the raw materials for something called neurotransmitters. The best way to think of these is as the brain's own private texting service. They are these tiny chemical messengers that zip between nerve cells, carrying signals that control everything from your mood and sleep to your attention span.
And the process is incredibly direct. It goes like this. You eat something with protein, your body breaks it down into amino acids. Those amino acids then get turned into things like serotonin and dopamine. You've heard of them, right? They're the superstars of mood regulation. It's a straight chemical line from your fork to your feelings.
This is exactly why having a varied diet is so critical. Different foods give you different amino acids. So by eating a wide range of proteins, you're giving your brain a full toolkit of messengers. That helps keep your mood stable and stops it from swinging too far off in one direction. Okay, so every VIP needs a security detail, right? Well, for your brain, that's the job of micronutrients. These are the vitamins and minerals that act as its personal bodyguards, protecting it from damage and just generally keeping things running smoothly for the long haul. The antioxidants you find in colorful fruits and veggies are absolute superstars here. They go to war against these nasty, unstable molecules called free radicals, which are like tiny wrecking balls causing damage inside our cells. But the protection doesn't stop there. Without key B vitamins or minerals like iron and zinc, our brains are just, well, they're vulnerable to disease and decline as we get older. So we've got the structure, the messengers, and the guardians. But none of that works if the lights aren't on. And for the brain, the premium fuel that keeps those lights on comes from carbohydrates. Now get this. This is going to blow your mind. Your brain is only about 2% of your body weight, but it uses a whopping 20% of your body's total energy. It's an incredibly greedy organ, and it demands a constant, steady supply of fuel to do its job. And how we get that fuel really, really matters. Those high sugar carbs like white bread or candy, they cause this crazy spike in your blood sugar, followed by that inevitable, horrible crash. Remember that post-lunch slump we talked about? This is it. This is what's happening. Your focus and your mood just tank right along with your blood sugar. But slow-release carbs from things like oats or beans give you a nice, steady stream of energy.
And that means much more stable focus and a better mood.
So when you put it all together, it's pretty incredible, isn't it? We've seen how fats build the brain, proteins send its messages, micronutrients guard it, and carbs fuel it. The power to optimize your most important organ is quite literally sitting right there on your plate.
So what's the big takeaway here? What's the game plan? Honestly, it's beautifully simple. A brain-healthy diet is all about variety. You want to prioritize those omega-3s from things like nuts and fish. You want to fuel up with slow-release carbs. And you want to eat a whole rainbow of fruits and vegetables to get all those protective micronutrients. So now you know. Every single meal is an opportunity. It's a chance to build a better brain, to stabilize your mood, and to fuel a sharper mind. So the only real question left is, what choice are you going to make?